We are less than 2 weeks away from seeing iOS 19 at the Worldwide Developers Conference, or WWDC 25. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the top features to expect in iOS 19. Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and this is iOS 19 top features to expect. Now, the Worldwide Developers Conference, or WWDC, will take place on Monday, June 9th. You can watch the event at 10 a.m. Pacific Time or 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Or if you're in the Midwest, you can watch it at 12 p.m. Central Time, or you can watch it at 11 a.m. Mountain Time if you are in the mountain region, like Montana, Idaho, or any of those states. You can watch it at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And at the event, we're going to see iOS 19, iPadOS 19, macOS 16, tvOS, and HomePodOS 19, as well as visionOS 3. We're also going to see watchOS 12. But in this video, I'm mainly going to talk about iOS 19, and I will mention iPadOS 19 as well. Now, the first feature that we are expected to see in iOS 19 is the ability to have circular icons. With maybe having the ability to switch between square or circular icons, I took a screenshot of this on a Samsung Galaxy A15 5G, where the Snapchat icon is we're expected to have icons similar to Samsung, where they're squared but ever so rounded. All of the icons in One UI are like this, where they're still square, but they're very, very more rounded. We're expected to get icons that are really rounded in iOS 19. Some people are even calling them squircular icons, where it's a combination of square and circular icons. We're supposed to get icons just like that in iOS 19. The entire way you use your iPhone can be heavily updated in iOS 19 as well. Where if we go into different things, such as the Apple Sports app, everything is sort of a pull-out animation. Or if we go into our logo in the top right, everything sort of pulls out from the top right corner, or it's a pull up and pull down type of animation. The entire way of using your iPhone could be updated in iOS 19. Now, the camera app is said to get one of the biggest updates in iOS 19, with having larger buttons, maybe even have all of some of the buttons hidden in like a shelf, where instead of having all of your options, you just press on a button and it brings up all of your options, so you don't have all of this clutter in the camera app. We can have an update just like that in iOS 19. Now, there is said to be a dedicated video game app, where instead of going into the App Store, going into your games that way, instead of accessing all of your different games, we can have a dedicated video games app for iOS as well. And speaking of the App Store, in iOS 19, we're supposed to get this new feature called nutrition labels, where it shows off your accessibility features that each individual app has. It is going to show that in the data link to you section. Apple calls that nutrition labels. We're supposed to get that in iOS 19. We're also said to get split screen in iOS 19, where if you go into an app and you slide up, maybe you have the option to open up another app. Maybe you'll be able to open it from the app switcher or some kind of way Apple will implement this into their different apps. There's also supposed to be an update to Siri where there's supposed to be conversational awareness, but this won't be there until iOS 19.1. Apple is not going to announce as many features that they usually do at WWDC. I think this is good because a lot of people are disappointed that they are not getting all of their features in iOS 19. So by Apple not announcing as many features, we will know what to expect in those point updates. Also, it said that the calendar app is supposed to get an update as well. Now, the calendar app got reminder integrations in iOS 19, and I had many opportunities to test this out. And I'm going to test it out on Saturday as well because I am doing a 3-year anniversary video for my iPhone 12, which is the current device I'm making this video off of. So I've been using the reminders feature in the calendar app, and I must say it is pretty great. But we're supposed to get Apple Intelligence features integrated into the calendar app. Now, this is only going to be for iPhones that support Apple Intelligence. Now, if I go into the Health app here, wherever I have it in my app folders, it may take me a minute to find it here, because I kind of have it well hidden. If I go into the Health app, it said that in iOS 19, we're supposed to get updates to the Health app as well. Maybe some more AI, Apple Intelligence type of features integrated into the Health app. Like it can tell you more things. Maybe if you sleep with your Apple Watch or you've got your steps in, it can tell you more about different things you need to know that's health related. It can give you more understanding in iOS 19. Now, we're also supposed to get battery intelligence. This too is going to be for Apple Intelligence. Everything that is Apple Intelligent related is only going to be for iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 16 models. So we're supposed to get battery intelligence. The Samsung Galaxy A15 already has this, where it's supposed to tell you how much time you have remaining until your iPhone is done charging. And it's also supposed to bring it to the battery health section, the battery health and charging section as well, where we're supposed to have updates to battery health and charging, where it can tell you different things, whether if it's time to replace your battery. It can tell you if it's normal or if the battery is below normal or if it needs to be replaced. It can tell you that as newer iPhones have cycle counts. Unfortunately, my iPhone 12, which is this device, doesn't have cycle count, and it has a not so great battery. As you can see, my battery health is at 83%. So I'm not really making it through a full day of usage with this particular device. But newer iPhones with Apple Intelligence is supposed to get battery intelligence. Now, there is features on the iPad I want to mention, so I'll share that. Now, there is features that we're supposed to get on the iPad as well. And not only are we getting those circular icons and other things, but when you hook the iPad into an external monitor or you hook it up on a keyboard, we're supposed to get a macOS-like dock where you can put more apps. Maybe Stage Manager will automatically appear, and the top bar where it shows your Apple logo, about this Mac, other things like that, is also supposed to show up when you hook the iPad up into an external monitor or you hook it up on a keyboard. We're supposed to get macOS-like interfaces integrated into iPad OS with floating elements and updates to different apps with circular icons and much more. Those are some updates we're supposed to get in iPad OS 19. It is also said that we're supposed to get split screen, but I've already mentioned that. But in iOS 19, along with getting split screen on the iPad, if I did not mention it on the iPhone, we're getting split screen on the iPhone, along with the ability when you plug the iPhone into a monitor, it's supposed to take over the entire screen, kind of like the iPad, and you're going to have Stage Manager on your iPhone, but on the external monitor. We're supposed to get that in iOS 19. Now, as far as what devices is going to support iOS 19, well, right now, from the latest information that I know, Apple is going to support the iPhone 11 and newer. So unfortunately, if you have the iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max, and the iPhone XR, you will not be getting iOS 19. You have to have the iPhone 11, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 11 Pro Max, and later to get iOS 19. Now, this could change, but right now, this is what we know so far. Apple is dropping support for the iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max. Now, as far as what iPads are going to be dropped, I believe the iPad 7th generation, most likely, and potentially the iPad 8th generation may also be dropped from iPad OS 19, leaving only the iPad 9th generation, and later, Apple could drop the iPad Pro 2018, leaving the iPad Pro 2020, as well as the iPad Air 4th generation and newer, or maybe the iPad Air 3rd generation and newer. Apple could still support A12 iPads and maybe having the iPad 8th generation still get support, but the iPad 7th generation is not going to be supported. Now, I don't know what MacBooks are going to support Mac OS 16. I will do a video on that when I talk about iOS 19 and what was announced. I will mention that maybe in a live stream later after WWDC. I also don't know what watches are supposed to support watchOS 12, but we will know all of that once WWDC will end. Now, as far as if I will be installing the beta, well, I'm going to upgrade this particular iPhone, keeping my iPhone that I currently use. So my iPhone that I use will become my beta testing device, my iPhone 12. And it will run on iOS 19, while my newer iPhone will stay stably on iOS 18. So I'm not going to install a beta on my newer device. Now, on June 8th, I am going to do a video where I talk about how to prepare to update and everything you need to know about installing the beta. Maybe I'll also go over some last minute changes in iOS 19 as well. As far as what else to expect, well, that's pretty much it. That's everything for the most part we can see in iOS 19. If I've missed anything, leave a comment on this video. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.